Okay, so here are the annotation guidelines. You're supposed to read them thoroughly before you actually start the annotation. I'm going to be going through them a bit quickly. So you're going to be given a blog article, and you're going to have to pick for each of the following 5 features the level of this following feature. So the first feature we have is credibility. So credibility is the quality of being believed or accepted as true, real, or honest. So the score is basically based on how believable the article is and how much you accept it to be true, real, or honest. So a credible article would be one that you completely accept and trust. A not credible one would be one that you don't trust. A fairly credible is a halfway marker. There's also a can't decide option if you really don't know which of the three it should be. So rather than giving us a wrong answer, you pick can't decide. But don't overuse it, and don't use it when you're not sure between, for example, not credible or very credible. Try to do your best guess and only pick this when you really don't know. Okay, so the second feature is reasonability. Reasonability means being in accordance with reason. So the more the articles have logical flows in their argument, the more reasonable they are. So highly reasonable is if an article is very logical from start to finish. Exaggerated article is one which doesn't seem to have any logical connection between what he's saying. You also have the can decide option. Bias. Bias is a tendency to believe that some people, ideas, etc. are better than others, thus usually resulting in treating some people unfairly. Okay, so the point with bias here is that we do not want you to make someone biased if he has a stance regarding a certain topic or the topic at hand. He or she is allowed to have a stance on the topic as long as he doesn't overly defend it or overly attack it. Not biased, as if he's presenting both sides of the argument well, even if he has a certain stance in it. Okay, so objectivity. Objectivity is expressing or dealing with facts or conditions as perceived without distortion by feelings or prejudices or interpretations. So, highly objective is basically a guy just stating facts. Not objective is it's mushy feelings all around. Okay, finally we have the sentiment, the last feature. Sentiment refers to the degree of positivity or negativity the overall text reflects. So, suppose they're talking about a phone that you hate, and the author says this phone is really awesome. Therefore, the sentiment is very positive because the author is thinking positively about the topic, regardless of what you think about the topic. You can give it a score of very negative, fairly negative, neutral, fairly positive, very positive, or the can't decide. So before we go on, I just want to say that you should try to be as fair as possible about all features and try not to let your personal judgments or affiliations affect what score you give. Just give them a very objective